messages will now become subliminal, but your subconscious mind will be hearing and accepting all of the positive messages. Listen to the tapes as often as you can. The more you listen, the sooner success will come.
Wake me up, wake me.
Hello, world. Yes, we are here. You are listening to the Awaken Your Positive Inner Voice podcast. I am your host, Kenya Zandrowicz. All I can say is, since we've started this podcast, I have not only seen the positive effects that it has on other individuals who listen, those individuals who reach out to me outside of the show, asking questions, wanting to learn more information about what they can do to work on their own positive self-talk, what steps they can take. It's happening. It's a movement. And I think that whole mindfulness and self-awareness movement is very, very prevalent in the majority of people whom are out there. I mean, we're all searching for something, right? And as we grow and as we evolve as human beings, we're going to learn more and more about ourselves. And I feel like the older that I get, the more quiet I become when it comes to engaging in various conversations or allowing myself to engage in various conversations. So I'm very selective these days in what I choose to interact with. And that's merely because I understand the importance of having a peaceful mind, a peaceful spirit. You can't be happy all the time. And I say this all the time. You cannot be happy all the time. We are human. Life is going to happen and we are going to respond emotionally to things. But if we can take a moment to catch it, to sit with that emotion, to understand that emotion, to see where it's stemming from, we can kind of find out, how we need to navigate moving forward. So last week was a part 1. And my guest, whom I was going to have on the show this week, we had to push off till next week. So the part 2 will be next week. So you have to spend just a little bit more time with only me. And I hope that you are okay with that. So when we come back, of course, we're going to talk a little bit more about the different things that you can do to change that narrative and reframe those negative beliefs. And I'm going to talk a little bit more about my book, which is where this podcast stemmed from. So don't move. I will be right back after this quick break. You are listening to the Awaken Your Positive Inner Voice podcast with Kenya Zandrowicz. Welcome back, and thank you all so very much for joining me again on the Awaken Your Positive Inner Voice podcast. There are so many different things that happen throughout our lives, from personal to professional. I'm a serial entrepreneur, and I can say that it took a very long time for me to understand why I feel the need to have my own, create my own, build my own, and be able to thrive from my own. My husband, he is the same way, and we are both entrepreneurs, and what we do, we work for ourselves, and that is truly how we are able to maintain. And that takes a lot of work and that takes a lot of balance. Failing forward had a lot to do with getting to this point. And I say failing forward and I say the lessons learned. I learned a lot about myself on this road of entrepreneurship, and I've learned a lot about my gifts, my talents, my skills, my weaknesses, all on this particular journey. And having to understand that I am my own worst critic. And sometimes I could be overly critical of myself. And a lot of that did stem from when I was younger. A lot of that did stem from me believing the things that others thought about me, their perception of my life. And I gave that power away. And as I've gotten older and I've begun to understand that that's my power, this is my life, and I'm going to speak positively over my life. I can now, give myself constructive criticism, but then I can also stop myself and I can say to myself, Kenya, no, that's not true. This is not true. On last week's show, I even gave an example of a situation that I was having, and it was more internal than external, believe it or not. And I was able to figure that out. And I had to cheer for myself. I had to, shake those pom poms for myself because I caught it. I caught that habit, that negative habit, that cycle that I was about to put myself in. And when you really, truly begin to sit with yourself to understand where you are in your own life, and you are able to speak lovingly to yourself, give yourself constructive criticism, you can go back and you can reflect. Self-reflection is a huge part of learning how to speak positively over your own life. I find that to be something that I do on a daily basis. There is not a day that goes by that I'm not sitting there and I am not remembering. Either I am reflecting from a place of gratitude, or I am reflecting from a place of lesson learned, because something might feel familiar and it's, how did I handle this in the past? What can I do differently moving forward to get beyond it? And as I do my research, I love to share information with everyone. That's what this is about, right? So I found a article on the ADR Times, and you can go to adrtimes.com, and where they were talking about having a powerful, positive dialogue with yourself. So the title of the article is The Power of Intrapersonal Communication. And for those of you who are not quite sure what that means, I'll explain it to you a little bit more. And it'll be based on what it was that I've come across. But when it comes to the intrapersonal communication, it's the inner dialogue that shapes our beliefs. It guides our actions, and ultimately it defines who we are. Intrapersonal communication skills are required for effective internal conflict resolution when our internal monologue drives low self-esteem and other issues in our personal lives. So in a nutshell, what they're basically stating is that inner dialogue is shaping your outer world. That inner dialogue is shaping your beliefs. And depending upon what that has been up until this point, there's some work that needs to be done. I truly believe there's always work that needs to be done. We are always on this journey of life. So being sure to check in with yourself and making sure that you understand how you feel, and that you are using more of a supportive inner dialogue as you move forward in your life. And so they wanted to give the distinction between the intrapersonal and the interpersonal. They're both often mistaken with one another due to similar spellings, but these forms of communication differ significantly. So you want to understand that internal conversation you have with yourself, that internal process that involves the thinking, the feeling, and the self-talk, and includes everything from planning your day in your head to your emotional response to a situation, to that pep talk, those pom-poms, cheering for yourself, and that you give yourself before anything that you do. And so my whole reasoning for doing this, one, it stems from the book that I wrote, because over the past year and a half, I've had certain situations and things happen in my life that felt very familiar. And as I was feeling that I had grown, that I have evolved beyond some things. There are things in your life that happen that are out of your control. And the only thing you can control is your response to it. And so my initial response to certain things that were happening was old response. It was old fear-based habit. And I had to catch myself and I had to continuously remind myself. And so, of course, I use meditation on a daily basis. I am a meditation coach and I truly believe in the power of meditation and the power of mindfulness meditation. But I also wanted to make sure that I was understanding and being self-aware and understanding how I was speaking to myself. And somewhere in my research and in my journey, I had come across that inner dialogue, how important that inner dialogue truly is in our lives. And it just kind of went from there. And as I worked on and I began to hone in on those skills, of course, using meditation, using affirmations, listening to positive motivational videos and other podcasts and reading those powerful inspirational books, I was on my way. And it prompted me to write the book, Awaken Your Positive Inner Voice, a guide to cultivating self-love and empowerment. And it is a short little 28-page read. I call them my coffee mug books because you can hold a coffee mug in one hand and the book in the other. And when I was doing my research and I was writing this book, I began to include some of these methods into my own workshops, my guided meditation workshops. And what I found was that individuals were very receptive to it. What I found was that individuals needed to learn how to cheer for themselves, support themselves, love on themselves in a way that they were filling a void, something that they were not getting when they were younger, or they feel like that was missing in their lives, something they wanted from another individual that was outside of themselves. Now, everything that we need, it's within us, and I truly believe that. So before I go looking outwardly, I tend to go inwardly. And inward, is inwardly even a word? I tend to go inward just to see if I can love on me, if I can offer myself those words of encouragement. And I found that I could. And I was doing that on a regular basis. And so this book, it has written activities within it, and it can truly assist you on your daily journey of reframing those negative thoughts and negative beliefs. So we're going to go a little bit more into some of the things that are within this book, along with some of the information that I have been encountering during my own research and my own journey as I'm looking and continuing to grow and evolve. We're going to talk about that a little bit more when we come back right after this.
Wake me up from this physical world. Then shake me up, so I can see the world. Oh, pick me up from the illusion world. Ooh, damn baby, kiss me up, like it's the end of the world. It's time to raise the vibration. All your love can build like this nation. I am a candidate for elevation. Are you ready for divine intervention? Turn your back to temptation.
Thank you. We are back. Our theme music is produced by Marks 11, who was one of our first guest co-hosts on this show, and it was absolutely fantastic. And this song fits so very well. It's called Wake Me Up. And the words, if you ever get opportunity in between the breaks, take a listen, or after the actual show. I play the song in its entirety and fall in love with it. I hope you enjoy it just as much as I do. Before we dive back into everything, I wanted to make sure that I give a huge shout out to Indie Central Media and Lux Glow Media Group. Thank you so very much. Without you, we would be in the dark. Shout outs to Tiffany Terrell, who is our producer, for making sure that we are staying in line and in tuned and delivering the absolute best information and topics that we can to everyone listening. We were talking previously before break, we're going to get into it a little bit more, about my book, Awaken Your Positive Inner Voice, a guide to cultivating self-love and empowerment. The book is available on Amazon, or you can just visit my website and it will lead you right to it. But this particular book, it does in a very great way spell things out for you. It tells you, what you can expect from this book, which is a lot. And it's a lot, but it's not, right? It's just enough, I think, to get everyone going and understanding, one, what that positive inner voice is, what that inner dialogue is, and then understanding what type of inner voice that you have, which one is leading the conversation, which one is guiding your inner compass, and your outer world is reflective of that. And for those of you who may not be aware and you're listening for the first time, I'm a meditation coach and an intuitive life coach. I'm also an author and entrepreneur. And before sitting in this seat here, I was like a lot of individuals, a creative individual that was looking for the Hollywood glitz and glamour of life. I was searching for that thing to make me feel more whole and feel more complete. The problem was I was searching outside of myself. And I knew that I had creative gifts and talents. Singing is not one of them. But I gravitated towards the world of fashion and film and television. So I do love entertainment and I love music. I love entertainment as a whole. And that's kind of where I ended up gearing my life towards. And I wanted to be on that Hollywood Walk of Fame because in my mind, growing up, looking at that life from the outside looking in, it was beautiful. They looked happy. They were smiling. They seemed like their life was they were living a fulfilling life. And of course, the money, the financial benefit, it was there. And so I wanted to feel that. So I gravitated toward that. But initially, it was because I was searching for something that was outside of myself. And as I continued to grow through, that particular stage in my life, I realized that that was very hectic. You're dealing with a lot of different energies, a lot of different people. And I needed to find balance because life was happening. So as I began to venture down, the path of meditation and how it worked for me personally, that's when I started to realize that what I was looking for was me. What I was looking for were ways to express my creativity, to express my individuality. And as I journeyed more into evolving and understanding myself, that's kind of how I ended up where I am now. I just simply took everything that I've learned when it comes to entertainment, when it comes to fashion, film, you name it, business, and now I apply it to what it is that I'm doing in my life now. So that's where Go From A to Zen kind of grew. It was during the pandemic, and I wanted to just go ahead, get my certification so I can help other people. Didn't know which way the world was going, so I wanted to offer up something. And for me to step out in that way and introduce myself to the world from that perspective was scary. I was scared to death. I was fearful. I was scared people wouldn't accept it. I was scared people wouldn't believe that this was who I was. because they were so accustomed to seeing the other side of me. So it was like there was me, and then there was this persona. And the persona was what the majority of the world was seeing. And I tried to drip in, helping individuals throughout their journey. I tried to drip it in there, especially when I was doing the runway coaching, and I wanted individuals to learn to walk with confidence, right? Walk into any room, walk on any runway and feel confident and feel powerful. So I was sliding it in there, just a little bit, but there was still something missing. And so finally I did it. I did it. I did the website and I said, here I am, you know, here I am, world. This is complete opposite of what you're probably used to seeing, but it's me. And I had to really talk myself through that process. I had to remind myself that I was more comfortable in my own skin when I was being me. Like it was like my clothes fit better. Everything in my life was definitely reflective of who I am. I changed, you know, um, my hair. I changed the way that I utilize makeup, and I just wanted the world to see me. So I come from more of uh, a skinimalist perspective when it comes to the makeup that I wear, and I am more of a natural and holistic person. And I found all of that out simply by sitting with myself, understanding myself, and thinking about the experiences that I truly want to have in my life. It's the experiences. I am all about memorable experiences that move me, experiences that bring me joy. And if I am in a state or a place where that cup, that joyful cup is running a little low, that self-esteem cup is running a little low, I know how to talk myself back up. That took time and that took practice. And so one of the things that I do speak about a lot on this show is reframing, challenging those negative thoughts. That's also in the book because it's very, very big. You have to rewrite that inner narrative over your life. You might not think you do, but if you're thinking about the life you want to live, the things you want to experience, you are going to have to go back, reflect, look at your life, the choices that you made, and even why you made those choices. Were they emotionally driven? And if they were they fear-based? I found that in my past, a lot of the decisions that I made were fear-based. And I also realized that I cut myself short. I was doing my soul a disservice by not being who I truly am. I was doing my soul a disservice by not going after the life I truly desired from an internal perspective. It started within me. Once I began to align myself with the desires and align myself and make room for what I truly wanted to experience, I found that there were other doors that began to open. And so when you sit with yourself and you begin to reframe and challenge those negative thoughts, you become aware. Awareness, becoming self-aware of your own life and where you are, and questioning yourself, questioning those past decisions, and even questioning where it is you want to move forward. Are you doing this for you? Are you doing this for someone else? Are you doing this because someone said that you would be good at doing it? I allowed a lot of individuals to speak over my life and direct which way I went because it felt easier rather than to think I was making the wrong decision on my own life or over my own life. And I had to truly wake myself up to that, so that's kind of why the theme music and the music you hear on the show, the song Wake Me Up, is so important because you need to wake up to yourself, wake up to yourself every day, wake up to your life every day. Before I get out of bed, when I'm coming out of that sleep, I am speaking positive affirmations over my life. I am reminding myself who I am. I am reminding myself of the things that I have accomplished. And that is before my feet hit the floor. And I am thanking God, source, the universe, for another opportunity to follow my dreams, another opportunity to use my gifts, another opportunity to express myself through my gifts and my talents. And that is how I start my day. And it's become habit. It has become habit. So I take those moments throughout the day and I do a reality check over my own life. How is Kenya feeling? Why is she feeling this way? What can I do to allow myself to feel better? What can I do for myself? I'm not looking for anything outside of myself to get things started. I'm just not. I have a loving husband and we are so good for each other where, he allows me to be who I am and we understand when we need that quiet time to figure something out. I've learned this and he is now learning this. So we're really becoming our own cheerleaders. And then at the same time, we're learning we can support each other. We're both going through this. We're building these businesses, you know, um, independently as well as together. And so it really does assist you when it comes to interacting with the world around you and the people around you. So I encourage everyone to take time to sit with themselves and to begin to question where are these beliefs coming from that I am continually speaking over my life and thinking over my life. Why am I feeling this way? Why am I thinking these things? And if they are not conducive to where I want to go, how do I change them? That's where the book comes in. That's where the podcast comes in. You can truly begin to look at your life and reframe all of it. All of it. I remember I used to, come across several individuals and that was one of the things that they would say. You have to change your beliefs. You have to change the way you think. And I remember thinking, my brain is what it is. How in the world? I've learned this. This is who I am. I have to learn how to be me all over again. Yes, you do. But you have to learn how to be the real you. Who is that? What does that person love to do? Where does that person love to go? What does that person love to listen to? Are you honoring yourself and who you are in your own life? I found that I wasn't. But when I began to do that and I began applying, the affirmations into my daily life and practicing the gratitude, and I began to open myself up to finding and allowing other individuals who were on the same accord into my life, I started to build this very unique support system where we are all on that journey together. We are all, looking to become better versions of ourselves because we understand I have to get myself right. And it has to start within me. And I cannot build on a foundation that's cracked, that's broken, that has a bunch of holes in it, and stuff is missing. You just can't. You cannot. You can't even build a house on a broken foundation. So you are no different. You have to get your inner life. You have to get your life right. You have to be ready to receive. And I'm going to talk about my book all throughout my episodes because that is where this podcast stems from. There is so much good information within this little read, and I encourage everyone to go and check it out. We're going to take a quick break. And when we come back, we are going to dive a little bit more into some of the affirmations. What are some things that you can say? What are some things that you need to reframe in your own life to help you move forward? So don't go anywhere. We will be right back. You are listening to the Awaken Your Positive Inner Voice podcast with Kenya Zandrowicz. I would like to take this time to give a shout out to one of our sponsors, Robotic Mower Installer, home of the I Mow No Mow crew. If you are looking to do more things or other things rather than mowing your lawn, please check out Robotic Mower Installer at imownomow.com. imownomow.com. Before break, we're going over a lot of some of the information that is within the Awaken Your Positive Inner Voice book. And that is where this podcast stems from. So we spoke on some of the things or some of the steps that you can do throughout the day when it comes to working on or beginning to work on that positive inner voice. And I'm going to go over the list really, really quickly that I have within this book. And again, this is such an easy read. I think that you will enjoy it, and it is very helpful, and it is very, very beneficial. So some of the things that we touched on already, of course, when it comes to challenging those negative thoughts and reframing those negative thoughts, it's the awareness. You have to start by becoming aware of your negative thoughts and then questioning. Once you've identified the negative thought, challenge it. Challenge it with curiosity and skepticism. Ask yourself, is this thought based on facts or assumptions? And is it fear-based? And then you also want to do a reality check. Take a step back and assess the validity of your negative thoughts. I'm very, very big on that. The reframing part, once you've challenged your negative thoughts, reframe them into positive or neutral ones. Wonderful, wonderful activity within this book that will allow you to do that very thing. So then we have the affirmations, and I mentioned I use those on a continuous basis every single day. First thing in the morning, last thing at night, and throughout my day. I am affirming the positive in my life by speaking affirmations. So I use positive affirmations to reinforce my new empowering beliefs. And you want to practice gratitude. Cultivate a practice of gratitude to counteract negativity and foster a more positive outlook. I start from a place of gratitude. It does wonders. And when I go to a place where I am grateful, I am so grateful for where I am in this opportunity. I am grateful for the life and the things I get to experience. I am grateful for the health of my family. I go there with it, and it begins to fill my cup back up when I'm feeling a little low and I'm feeling a little empty. And then we had seek support. Build that support system. Have those people around you who are accepting of who you are, all of who you are, and they understand your journey and they understand where you're trying to get to. And one of the written activities that's within this book is affirmation creation. So you're going to rewrite your previous negative beliefs into positive affirmations. And that's where a lot of my affirmations come from. I do a lot of, I start with, I am love. I am love. I am light. I am healthy. I am wealthy. I am kind. I am understanding. I am smart. I am capable. So that's your I am. And then you just kind of build that up from there because you are capable of doing great things. We all are. We are all capable of having the life that we want. You truly are. It will take work. Affirmations alone won't do it. Meditation alone will not do it. You have to put these things into play on a daily basis, and consistency is going to be key. And learning to let go of things that are no longer serving you positively in your own life will be key. You have the key to unlock every and any door. You truly do. You are the key. You are the one that determines what your world looks like. We no longer have to be victim of circumstance. Life is going to life. It's going to life the hell out of all of us. It's how we navigate and we get through that. And you can grow through anything. You truly can. I look at my life 10 years ago. I look at my life 5 years ago. And I can honestly tell you where I am now in my life. I did not expect that this would be the seat that I'm in, and this will be the ship that I'm navigating through the waters. And I love it. I absolutely love it. And everything that I do stems from this garden, this internal garden. So the things that I interact with, the businesses that I have, they all stem from this person, that inner dialogue, this positive, energetic, loving, and joyful person that I am. I am truly my authentic self as I sit here before you at this very moment. And that feels good. That feels absolutely good. I am very self aware of my life and where I want to go. And this show is to assist you in doing the exact same thing. I'm going to begin to incorporate into the show what does this meme to you, where I'm going to pull off various memes that I come across, and we're going to use those memes as either a topic of conversation or we're just going to reflect on it a little bit. Um, one of the beautiful things about social media, which is one of the beautiful things, because we know there's another side, but one of the beautiful things is it allows you to interact with other individuals, and it is allowing you to engage with information that is more aligned with whom you are and whom you're looking to become. And so my timeline is a lot different than it used to be, for sure. So I'm always looking for the positive and looking for things that are going to, perk me up. So that's what this show is. So all of those things kind of work together, and you should do the same thing. I know one evening my husband and I, we sat there and we went through our timeline and we just started removing, things and unfollowing, certain individuals or entities because it was not feeding our spirit. It was a distraction more than anything else. And we wanted to try as much as we could to remain in that positive, um, that remain on that positive frequency. And so that's what we do. That's what we do. That's how we do it. And when we are interacting and we can feel, when we're like, okay, I don't want to look at this. I have to go. And now um, I have to remove the catastrophic thinking. And I think that we're naturally, innately drawn to that. We'll go look at the tornadoes. We'll go look at the news every now and again. And it's just like, why did I come here? Because you need to be aware. I'm perfectly aware of what's happening in the world. I'm just doing my part, one person at a time, starting with me, and then that spreads outward, just like a pebble that you throw in the river. The wave it just moves outward and gets bigger and bigger and bigger. And so my goal with the podcast, with the books, with the magazine, with Go From A to Zen is to touch as many lives as I can from a positive standpoint and to help those individuals find themselves so that they can continue to walk and live the life that they desire. That is my goal. That is my mission. Again, if you have not, please go and check out the Awaken Your Positive Inner Voice, a guide to cultivating self-love and empowerment book. I truly believe it will, assist you on your journey. If you have not, if this is your first time listening, welcome. If you have been with us all along, thank you for continuing with us on this journey. If you want to check out our previous shows, they're all on demand. You can just simply click and listen and get to this point. Next week will be our part 2. We will have our special guest on the show with us. I think that you will love to hear her story. It will be very inspiring and very powerful. And she and we're going to sit and we're going to discuss how How do you talk yourself through those challenging times? So I thank you so much for joining me again. Follow me on Instagram, Kenya Zandrowicz, or at Go From A to Zen. Please check out my store where you can find some wonderful, wonderful products. Again, everything that I do is from a place of helping individuals feel better about themselves and live their authentic life. So I hope you join me. It has been great. It has been wonderful. I hope that you've learned some information, and hit me up if you have a topic or something that you want to talk about, or if there is a question that you need answers to. I am here to help. So until next time, people, I'll be talking to you positively.
These messages will now become subliminal, but your subconscious mind will be hearing and accepting all of the positive messages. Listen to the tapes as often as you can. The more you listen, the sooner success will come.
Wake me up from this physical world. Then shake me up, so I can see the world. Oh, pick me up from the illusion world. Ooh, damn baby, kiss me up like it's the end of the world. Walking down the streets of my dreams, why it seems so real. I can't believe I see what's really real. See the things we feel, we can make them disappear. 'Cause the time is near, you see, baby. So won't you come with me? Wake me up from this physical world. Then shake me up, so I can see the world. Oh, pick me up from the illusion world. Ooh, damn baby, kiss me up like it's the end of the world. It's time to raise the vibration. All your love can build like this nation. I am a candidate for elevation. Are you ready for divine intervention? Turn your back to temptation, where you step up to the vision. I call it divine mutation. So will you come with me? So won't you come with me? 'Cause I've been waiting so long for you. I couldn't find the light. Is it black or white? But I'ma make my way up to you. Will you see me shine? Will you find it be mine?